Well, welcome back to my channel Mispronounced Adventures. My name's Alex and welcome to northern Finland, deep in the Arctic. So last episode I said the point of this episode was going to be inconvenience, or I particularly said it was going to be a point of inconvenience, and it's going to be point of inconvenience number 39. That probably means nothing to a lot of people. So you have the adventurists who run the Mongol Rally, which is the famous British rally from the UK over to Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia, in effectively unsuitable clapped out British cars. But last year, I think it was last year, 2022, they came out with a list of points of inconvenience. And number 39 is a point where Norway meets Russia in one of the most sort of northeasterly points of Norway. And that's only a few hours drive from here. And it looks mighty inconvenient. So let's go. Out that deepish snow I was parked in. Well, the drive is looking stunning this morning. -18 according to the van. Making our way, I think it's 50 miles to the Norwegian border. I totally forgot to say in the intro, really nice display of the Northern Lights last night. Kind of fake green lines for probably a couple hours and then maybe a good 20-minute like burst. And I captured some of it. So one of the things I found is, I guess if you don't live in the Nordics and the Northern Lights aren't an everyday thing or every night thing or common as such, I end up going to bed like past midnight most nights because I'm just keeping an eye out for the Northern Lights to see what shows up. Did you really just do that again? It's so annoying when that happens. It never happened so before, the focus change thing. So I film pretty much all the videos on iPhone. It's quick and easy. My iPhone 12 Pro never did that. This 14 does it all the time, and it's really annoying. Where it just for some reason it will be recorded and then go, ah yes, clearly I want to focus on the element in front of the heating element in the windscreen. Ooh, ptarmigan. Yes, and the camera was pointing towards me. I just saw some ptarmigan. They were my favourite bird. Not that you get to see them because I was talking to the camera and it was pointing to me. There's a lot more wildlife up here than I've seen in other parts of the trip so far. Oh, hello, Mr. Reindeer. Goodbye, Mr. Reindeers. Sorry, Mr. or Mrs. Reindeers, because both genders of the species have antlers. Right, we are finally approaching the Norwegian border. First time going into Norway for this trip. Last time I went into Norway on the last trip, the customs car chased after me, turned me round, and then did a full search of the van, like every cupboard, sniffer dogs, everything. So this time, I'm just going to blast through customs again because I don't need to stop because I have nothing to declare. Well, that's my logic at least. Ooh. Hey, we're in Norway.
Continue on to Finlandsveen.
Well, good morning. Nice we park up. I moved from the one I originally parked up last night just because there was loads of streetlights around and this is only half a mile up the road and a lot nicer. Engine preheater sounds like it's mostly done. -12 outside. 76 degree coolant. Excellent. Let's thaw the cab out and get driving. Right, 60 odd miles to get to the border. Well, it's sort of the border. It's not a border crossing. I'm going to pass the border crossing before. It just sort of ends up being Norway and Russia have a border, which is a river in this part of the world. So that's the plan to go to. Oh, before anyone thinks that I'm using Ukraine and Russia's war to promote a video, I would have gone to this inconvenient point anyway, because it seemed like an obvious inconvenient point to go to. Although, to be fair, this video will probably be called Camp at the Russian Border, because YouTube is YouTube, and you need I'm not going to say it's clickbait, because it's not going to be clickbait, because I'm going to do it. Plus, if you go on Park for Night, there are Park for Night pins, sort of places you can camp all the way along the place I'm going. So it's not like I'm going somewhere mega extreme and dangerous. Nor am I going to fly the drone in the border vicinity of Russia, because that sounds like a really stupid idea. It's a bit snowy this morning. It is a shame of the current, well, obviously it's a big shame of the Russian-Ukraine war at the moment. Anyway, I mean, Russia is somewhere I would have enjoyed to have, loved to have visited a few years ago. And on the first European trip in this van, when I drove down Finland, we had to get the boat over to Estonia. We were looking if you could drive around and go through Russia and the visas and insurance, but it just did not seem possible at the time. I guess that is still the case. But from my understanding, going across Russia is quite a big part of overlanding if you are going towards the east, and it's a shame that's not really possible at the minute. It will be interesting to see what effect the current world climate has on the Russian border in this part of the world. Physically it's pretty far removed from the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Military restrictions. Something I've not considered until now, which I should have, is this road going to actually be ploughed so I can drive down it? We'll see. I guess we'll see. Well, there's the Russian border. I'm just going to pull into this stop over here. So this is the official border crossing point. Where I'm going is far more over to the east. Well, as I have no intention of actually crossing the Russian border, we can turn around.
Bear right into Scotland, then turn right onto Grense Jakobselv.
I can't actually see anything. That's where we're going. Right, that place there is where we're going. This is some little sketchy going at the minute, but there are vehicles coming the other way, and clearly the road does get ploughed, so that's a good sign. This might actually be a stupid idea. Driving to a remote part of the Norwegian Russian border in the middle of a snowstorm in winter. Yeah. Well, if it all works out, it works out. I mean, these Norwegian coastal roads are stunning to drive. Absolutely stunning to drive. Treacherous with all this new snow on the road, but really lovely. See the frozen sea. Not entirely surprised, to be honest with you. Well, there's the end of that adventure. I'm not too surprised, to be honest. I think I'll pull over to that spot over there and figure out a plan. Oh well. Well, that is certainly a bit of a disappointment, but I'm not all that surprised. And I guess it is a pole of inconvenience. So it's not meant to be convenient to get to. But oh well, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive to a place called Vandu. It looks to be one of the most northeasterly points of the little island, and that's somewhere I know I can get, because I've now checked online at the map to show me which roads are open. So let's go there. Right, since that is not
Turn right onto Treriksrøysa.
an option, which is a shame, I've come up with a different idea. Right, well, okay, I know the last bit of footage I said that I'm going to go to Vandu, which I will, but I've got another idea. I'm going to go to the three-country cairn. So last winter I went to the three-country cairn where Sweden, Norway and Finland all meet, known as the most peaceful border in the world. There is another one, which is where Norway, Finland and Russia meet. And that can be reached, apparently. It looks to be like a 5.5 kilometre flat walk on the Norwegian side. It does seem that you can't go on the other sides, from the Finnish or from the Russian side. And it looks like a sort of boardwalk, so it may well be alright to do in the winter. So, I'm in the area. It's still like an 80-mile drive there, but let's do it. Let's do it. It's a 70-odd mile, no it's not, it's a 87-mile drive there. I'm not going to do that today, it's already getting dark. I will probably, I don't know, do another hour's worth of driving there. We'll see how I feel, to be honest. Or, I don't know, it could be worth doing it tonight, because then I can just get up tomorrow and do the walk. Decisions. Right, well, I thought that there is a souvenir shop on the Russian border. So let's go have a look. I think I'm going to be the only customer coming here today. Oh no, it's closed. I could have had a customer. They could have had a customer. It's not a road sign you see every day, is it? Well, at least I can read it now. Right, It is prohibited to cross the border by land, sea or air. Seems reasonable. It is prohibited to make contact across the border. Yeah, right. It is prohibited to make offending actions towards or across the border. Okay. Remove or damage or destroy border marks. Seems reasonable. Prohibited to photograph Russian military personnel and equipment in an aggressive or provocative manner. So, can you photograph it non-aggressively? Right, this is where we're going. Here. Oh, focus. There we go, that bottom one. So we're currently at the top. We're going to drive all the way down to the bottom. Well, all being well, we'll drive all the way down to the bottom. Right, onwards. I've got a lot of snow in my shoes, which is currently melting. Ugh, heating on. Right, so I've pretty much decided that I'm going to drive as far as I can there. I say tonight, it's about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I think. It said there's 30 miles to go, so it's going to take 2 hours. I don't know why the GPS thinks that. So it means get there tonight, and then I can have the day tomorrow doing the walk. Well, that's the plan at least. If we actually get there is a different matter. Right, well, it looks like I'm the only one driving this direction at the minute. Except maybe those tracks coming the other way from the plough. Oh god. Bump. Well, it's looking good. Let's have a quick
11 miles, bear right.
look at the signage over here. Cool. Right, 19 miles to go. 19 kilometres to go. Definitely seems to be more snowmobile tracks than well, that's not ideal. Yes, slightly stood off the road. Well, last night didn't really get a plan. I slipped off the road immediately. Yes. I don't know why. Because it's not a different sort of road than I've driven on already. But got out of there pretty easy, wasn't too hard to reverse. Went to a little car park nearby. Proceeded to reverse into a ditch. Enough to leave an imprint of the exhaust, the spare tyre and the differential in the snow. But dug myself out of there. Then found a lay-by to park in. Subsequently, that dropping into the ditch blocked the diesel heater. So I had a mad few minutes of figuring out why the diesel heater sounded strange, and then figuring out I had managed to get about a foot's worth of snow up the exhaust. And just my keys wouldn't get it out. Switched to nature's own exhaust snowing kit, sticks, and then eventually it all melted out. Well, this episode is getting a little bit longer than I intended, so I'm going to end it here. And, well, it was a failure-filled episode. I failed to get to the pole of inconvenience number 39, which is the sort of most northeasterly border between Norway and Russia. I failed to get, on my first attempt, to the three-country cairn. I then fell off the road. I then reversed into a ditch and then blocked the diesel heater. So it's been a bit of a failure-filled episode. But if you have enjoyed watching my failures, feel free to tell me about it in a comment or give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, hopefully you might want to subscribe and see hopefully some less failure-filled episodes. That's one of the ways you can support the channel. Another way you can support the channel is the energy for this trip is supported by Roma. I'm currently experimenting with 2 of their Extreme Series batteries, which are cold weather lithium, and I have an affiliate link for them. So if you're interested in any batteries, be it some normal lithium batteries for your campervan vehicle or off-grid setting, or their extreme range, if you use the affiliate link in the description, It helps the channel out and it helps me fund ridiculous failures like this up in the Arctic. Next episode we're going to pick up here exactly where we left off and see why my face looks like this from here and go from there. Right. Cheers. Bye.